Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons. Today I'm rebooting my lesson on Van Morrison's classic Brown Eyed Girl. I'm going to break down the chord progression and some of the fancy picking in that iconic intro. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, we're playing the new game, laughing and running, skipping and jumping in the misty morning fall, where our hearts are thumping you, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened, we're two staying so slow, going down the old mine with a transistor radio, and standing in the sunlight laughing, high behind a rainbow's wall, and slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own. I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about making love in the green grass or behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You are my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, we like to die. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, we like to die. Okay, we have a close look at the neck. We're going to start off by breaking down the intro section. It's going to sound like this. Okay, getting started, I'm going to show you what chords are going to be laying underneath of that series of licks. The chord progression in the intro and also the verse is G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. And that's very important because each of the licks within that intro are responding to those chord changes. All the notes are being drawn from our G major scale. So let's get that down first. Our G major scale just runs on a series of whole steps and half steps. The major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. A whole step being 2 frets, and a half step being 1 fret. So let's start here on this G note, 3rd fret of the high E string, and travel whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half up our fretboard to create a G major scale, and by doing so, discovering what notes are going to be found in this intro. Whole step again, half step, whole, 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 half. 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 for our G major scale. The notes within it: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Okay, now that we've uncovered what notes are inside our G major scale and what notes therefore are going to be within our licks, let's learn the intro section, but in a very simple, beginner-friendly way. We're just going to learn the melody notes that are found on the high E string. So, over that G major chord, the lead guitar player is playing. It's going to be the 3rd fret of the high E string. Then, we're going to play the 5th fret of that same string before sliding up to the 7th fret, and then back to the 5th fret, then back to the root, G. Obviously, if you were just playing this on a single string, you'd want to use more than one finger. As the chord progression moves to C major, we're going to repeat the same line, except it's going to be found here on the C note, 8th fret of the high E string. So that was 8, 10, slide from 10 to 12, back to 10, and then to 8, back to C. The chord progression is going to drive us back to G, so we'll repeat lick number 1. Then the chord progression will take us to D major, and the lead guitar player will respond with this great D major lick. Really sweet little melody, just 5, 2, 3, 5. So that's A, F sharp, which if you remember was found here in our G major scale. This is just the lower octave of it. Then G, and back to A. All right, the whole thing in its entirety. Okay, now that we have the basic melody down, we can add in our harmony notes. It's going to make it sound like this. Okay, so in this case, we're going to be harmonizing a B note with the G note. So these are going to be thirds. Okay, so my middle finger is there on the 4th fret of the G string. My first finger is there on the G note, that is the high E string 3rd fret. Next, my middle finger is going to go up 1 fret, and my 3rd finger will go to the 5th fret below that. So we still have, but now we're going to play. So middle finger, ring finger, both on the 5th frets, G string, high E string, then slide up 1 whole step. Then right back, but do not slide. And then back to the G major harmony. So we have 3 and 4, 5 and 5, slide up to 7 and 7, back to the 5th fret, and then back to position number 1. Over the C major chord, repeat that same thing, but on the 8th fret, first finger 8th fret, middle finger here on the G string. That's the major 3rd of C major, so it's the G string 9th fret. Back to the first lick over G major. And then finally over the D major chord, we're going to play 5th fret, G string, and high E string. Then bring both fingers down to the 2nd fret. Then to that G major harmony, 3rd fret high E string, middle finger 4th fret, and back to the 5th fret of the G and high E string. Over G major, over C major, over G major again, and over D major, for that iconic intro. Okay, we have our intro down, we're ready to get into our verse section. It's going to have the same exact chord progression that our intro had. G major, C, G, and D. And throughout that intro section and verse section, I'm going to be strumming down, down, up, down, up. Our pop strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, down, up. I'm jumping kind of on that last upstroke back to the next chord. Down, down, up, down, jump. Down, down, up, down, up. We're gonna do that 4 times. Hey, where do we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing the new game, laughing and running, hey, hey, and skipping and a jumping, always throwing the D7 in the misty morning fog, with our hearts a thumping, and that's where it's going to change. The B section of our verse, we go to C major, U. My first finger can stay put and I can transition to D7. And then I'm going to my G major chord, my brown-eyed girl. And then to the E minor chord. But in between those 2 chords, I'll throw in a nice little lick. I'll borrow something from the lead guitar player once again. So I'm just going to simply strum the G major chord once, head up to the 5th fret of the high E string, back to the 3rd fret, and the 2nd fret of the high E string, before hitting my E minor chord. I'll probably do that all with my pinky. Something along those lines. Alright, so that B section would sound like this. With you, my brown-eyed girl. That's followed with another C chord. You are my D7 brown-eyed girl. Now we're going to throw in a D chord just to break up the verses. That could also be a D7. So all the D chords in this song are kind of interchangeable with D or D7. And then back to the beginning of the next verse. And whatever happened Tuesday and so slow, so on and so forth. Alright, so our verse one more time. G, C, G, D. 4 times with our pop strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Then to the B section of that verse. C major, D7, G with a little lick, then C major, you are my D7 brown-eyed girl. And then a turnaround chord. It's almost always the 5th chord, the 5 chord of the key. So in the key of G major, G, A, B, C, D. That's that climax chord, D. It's always the 5, almost always in pop songs. Takes us back to the beginning, just where we want to go. When I get into the next verse, I like to add in some more percussive elements just to kind of pick things up a little bit and keep the audience's attention. So I'll add in a little bit of root strumming. Basically just taking my chord, but instead of doing a downstroke in the beginning of my pattern, down, down, up, down, up, I'll change it to root, just the bass note, then root, down, up, down, up. When you apply that to the entire progression, it sounds really nice and very professional because now you are basically separating out the lows from the highs, which is something that all seasoned guitar players do. So root, down, up, down, up. Find the root of the C chord, it's on the A string. The root of the G chord, back to the E string. And then for that D or D7, I'll pluck the D string. Now I got a great chord progression and a really nice strumming pattern too, with some separated low notes. So E string, down, up, down, up, A string, down, up, down, up, E string, down, up, down, up, and then D string, down, up, down, up. Okay, with your intro and verse complete, we're ready to move on to our bridge section. This is a very simple little part that comes in after the verse. So we'll have, with you, my brown-eyed girl, you are my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing there, I'm just basically going D major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switching to D7 just to add tension. 2, 3, 4. We used to sing. And that brings us in right to our chorus section. So again, coming out of that verse, with you, D7, my brown-eyed girl, lick. C, you are my brown-eyed girl. D major, do you remember when? Sometimes throw in a little triplet strum there just for a little bit of character. D7, we used to sing. And right into our chorus, which is basically the same exact thing as we had in our verse. Sha la 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 la, we like to die. You're just like that. Sha la 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 la, we like to die. D or D7, sometimes throwing in some variations like Seuss chords over my D major chord are great. Taking the middle finger on and off, the pinky on and off. We're mixing the two together. You can do that throughout the song, come up with your own version. Even works over the D7 chord. Check it out. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this quick lesson on Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. I got plenty more videos coming up. As always, keep checking back, please subscribe, and please share. I'm Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.